Hello, beautiful and beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions, and welcome or welcome back. And if you wonder about that strange title, these days, after about every other music reaction, I'm bringing you a message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness for the entire planet. And today is a message video, so stick around to the end. I'm going to bring you that message. But first, we're starting with So Young, Amazing Grace. Here we go.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Wow, so she starts it off very soft. You know, a lot of times you could see her like hitting it with the power, but for this song, and she's sitting and she's quiet in her quiet space, she's just bringing us the meaning and in those clear, vibrant tones that she has. So beautiful. Like she's just really interested to bring us the meaning here, which is kind of nice. You see her with the splash and dash on stage, which is wonderful in its own way, but also very nice to see her just, you know, zero in on bringing us the feeling, the meaning of something. So wonderful. Don't forget, by the way, friends, that I have my member tiers, and I got 3 different tiers. I've been furiously putting videos in for you, so check out the video on those tiers if you're interested. Let's continue.
나 같은 죄인 살리신 주 내
Her riffing. We're going to go back and hear that again. But you know, I also understand from you guys telling me that she has a strong spiritual faith, a spiritual component to her, and you're really seeing it in this video, huh? It's pretty apparent here. Otherwise she wouldn't be able to bring us such beautiful I don't know, power in this. Not power like strong, but just like emotion to it, if you will. Yeah, so is this the only version of this song she's done? That's really, let me know if there are other versions of this song. I'd be curious to see them side by side and see what those, what they're looking like, you know. Also, if you're enjoying this, give me a like, give her a like later. It's in the notes. And subscribe. I'm going to go back a little to catch that beautiful riffing. Comments too. I'm guessing that second verse was the verse through many toils and troubles and all. It looks like it from the way she did it. That's in her language, I'm guessing. So, but put it in the comments.
Jesus.
she's going to do something great. We'll go back a little bit, but um, what I'm looking at here is my voice teacher. I started voice lessons again recently. If I could sing like this one, even a modicum of it, I would be a happy camper. But anyway, she's having me align myself and stand straight and everything else. But here, this one's sitting down, you know. And she's accomplishing this level of sound and expertise sitting down. I mean, that's a true master. Let's go back a little. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful. What a gorgeous rendition. Wow. Absolutely loved it. Oh my, so young. Oh, she just brings you to the heights, doesn't she? Oh my. So let's see. I gotta put this on my scale now, right? One being very third dimensional, fear, pain, anger, suffering, sadness. 10 being very fifth dimensional, love, peace, joy, bliss. Well, I mean, we know this is an inspiring song. It's always been an inspiring song. A couple of parts about it I take exception to, which is that save the wretch. Like, we think of ourselves as wretches, but I don't think, I'm quite sure the Creator doesn't think of us as wretches, but we see ourselves as wretches. So, but we can see like how, yeah, sometimes we've occurred or we've shown up like a bit of a wretch, right? So I can kind of get that too. But I mean, really, it's very high vibrational to be praising the Creator, to be praising the one that has all this grace for us, right? No matter what we go through, is always there and always coming from love. I mean, it's kind of amazing. Um, so, and it's so beautifully written, such a beautiful sound, and she did it so beautifully. So, if you go with a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being very third dimensional, fear, pain, sadness, anger, suffering, 10 being very fifth dimensional, love, peace, joy, bliss. Well, you do have, there was suffering, okay? There was suffering, and the one has overcome it by, reaching out to or connecting with the Creator, I guess, or Jesus, or whichever you want to think of that. So she's overcome the suffering. So that's a big part of it. So, but it is from a base though that you do have suffering in life, and you do have toils and troubles and all that. But it's also just so beautiful and uplifting. So I'm going with on this one. Because in 5D you don't have any suffering. There is no more suffering. There's no toils. There's no troubles. There's no none of that, right? And she's like lifting up to it. She's looking to lift up to it. So I would go with like about an 8.5 on my 1 to 10 scale on this song. On not how well she did it, but how much it lifts you to the higher realms. I mean, it does lift you up. There's no question. Let's go 8.75 because of the beauty of her voice and the way she sang it. So, if you'd have to, by the way, score her on a 1 to 10 scale on how well she does it, man, she'd be off the chart. So, but okay then. If you want to know a little bit about me, friends, you can go to the about me video on this channel, which leads you to another longer video about what I call my Forged in the Fire journey of 3D in my earlier days. And I learned a lot though, and I became a transformational coach for a while, and that was fun. It's like a life coach, only I would say more powerful. And then I also learned about natural healing, healed some major issues with my body through that, and I continue to do that. So I'm bringing some stuff to you that might be of interest for your journey. So if you're interested in that, go to the About Lorelei on Patreon, that page there in the notes. It's in the notes, the link. And also on that page, there's a way you can support me. If you'd like to do that, you could there's a link there, and there's also a buy me a coffee on the description on YouTube, which are all ways that you can show me a little love if you so desire. Okay, beloved ones, and I much appreciate that, by the way. There goes my alarm telling me I got to get down pretty soon to get the food out of the oven. But so this is the message for today. The 5D message. Where does the amazing grace of the Creator really come from? Like, you think of this amazing grace of the Creator. Well, I mean, let's just talk about it. Like, so first of all, I don't think at all that the Creator sees us as a wretch by any stretch of the imagination. But we're much like the prodigal son, right? And the prodigal son goes out, and Jesus says it in his parable, and he commits all kinds of heinous, who knows what he's doing, right? But he comes back to the fold, and the Father welcomes him with open arms, because the Father knows the heart of the Son, right? The true inner heart of the Son, no matter what deeds the one committed or whatever. And the Father loves that. So the Creator of everything knows the true inner heart of us. It doesn't matter what even horrible, heinous deeds we've done. The Father always sees the true heart of us. Well, one of the reasons for that, of course, is arguably we are sparks of the Creator. We are a part of the Creator. We are, we are a divine spark of the Creator. So it's not separate from Him. The Creator sees us as Him or herself. And I say the Creator, but really I'm talking about all the higher beings, because all the higher beings, the angels, the archangels, the ascended masters, Jesus, all of those are living in like the energy and the space and the oneness, unity with the Creator. So when I say the Creator, it's all of them too, because they're all in unity and oneness. Once you get to the fifth dimension, you're all in unity and oneness. So the fact that the Creator, we are a spark of the Creator, that we are a part of the Creator, has the Creator always seen, no matter what our travails are, up and down the mountains. And I'm not just talking about this one life. I'm talking about the many, many lives. And some lives where we show up as wonderful people, and other lives where we show up as jerks and nasty cusses and people that hurt other people, all that. The Creator still sees, the core of our being, that goodness, which was a spark that was given to us was when we came into the being, right? So that grace, what grace does He have? Where does it come from? It comes from, first of all, us being a part of the Creator, and Him being able to see that through anything. And the fact that this is really kind of more or less this whole entire life in the third dimensional plane on all the many lives is kind of a game we devised to see what it would be like to live in physical bodies, and to see what it would be like when we came from no problems of any kind whatsoever to come to a life where there was problems and everything wasn't always perfect and peachy. But on the other hand, there were things you could do that you didn't get that experiences of. Hold a baby in your arms. That's a physical experience. Bask in the ocean water and lie there looking up the sun. That's a physical experience. Get a massage, make love, physical love. These are all physical experiences that are wonderful experiences, and they don't exist in the higher realm because you don't have that physical body. So they came up with that game to just come down here, send divine sparks, their own divine sparks, like aspects of the different divine sparks of God, the higher beings, right? And send them down here to experience all of that. And so the grace that the Creator has, it's almost incomprehensible to us, right? Because that you could, can you imagine, like, if you have a child, for instance, usually if your child goes awry, you're still always going to love your child, right? You're always going to, if it goes awry, drinking, smoking, doing drugs, etc., you're going to love your child because you know the inner core of your child is good. But if your child really goes and does horrible, terrible, harming of other people, I mean, it's harder for you to see as a human being the goodness within that. And in fact, that's a very big schism for a person who has a child, if it's a good person that does that. So it would be harder if that child were to do those terrible kinds of things you'd want to almost in a way sort of cut off from them, right? And by the way, oftentimes if children do such things like that in their life, then they haven't, then the parent has been a part of, the parenting has been a part of how that child shows up. So that's a whole nother story. But if you did have that child, you would want to cut off from that child, like an addicted person or whatever, that you want to kind of cut off from that child. And you still have a love for them, but it's harder and harder to see that child as the goodness that he or she is on the human plane, or like say it's your spouse or whatever, like my husband within his addiction. It was harder and harder to see the goodness, the core of the goodness in him, the more his addiction had him show up this other way, because we are human and we don't have that. But the creator of everything and all the higher beings, they're looking on the whole picture of everything. They see our hearts. They literally see the fire. I mean, the light. I mean, the spark in our hearts. And they always see that. In fact, they don't necessarily sit there and see us as our human form at all. They see us as the spark, right? And maybe the surrounding kind of auras and lights and whatever else, right? And and when they see someone's spark is dimming, probably from whatever experiences of life and maybe not showing up so great in that life, there's a great compassion and there's a wish to have that, fan that flame. They may even try to sort of reach us, in different ways. Like one time I was literally, I think, picked up by a couple of angels on the side of the road when a former boyfriend of mine was walking behind me through the woods and I think really planning to do me harm. That was who I attracted back in those days, so that was not good. And I went to the side of the road, 3 a.m. in the morning, stuck out my thumb. One car only came in that instant. In that instant, like showed up out of nowhere. I got in the car. They didn't say word one to me except where are you going? And they picked me up and dropped me off. And I believe that was angels come down to help me. So that doesn't happen very often in our human experiences, but now and again it does. So that's the kind of love they have for us. Even doesn't matter what our path is or what we've done in this or that or the other life in our learning experiences here, there is still that deep love, that deep compassion. Now, they're not usually going to save us from the consequences of our actions, right? For whatever reason, I guess they thought it was a good idea to save me at that time, right? But generally we have to, face the consequences of our actions. And I faced them later on with having, attracted, people into my life that were not particularly uplifting, if we will put it that way. Yeah, so they will usually let us live out and see, and learn. And they did let me learn. I did learn, but I didn't leave this earth. So I guess that was the point that they wanted to accomplish there. So the grace with which they see us, the love with which we are seen, and it's not an attached love. And it's not a love where they need to save us from everything, like our kind of love. And it's not a love where they take out a whip and start punishing us. We do that ourselves at the higher state when we say, not really a punishment, but we say, well, you didn't really learn that lesson, so I guess you need more of experiences to learn that lesson, and we do that. But it's not like the creator of everything ever getting involved, or any of the higher beings except your own higher self, you in a higher dimension, like so that you have the authority to do that because it's you in a higher dimension, but nobody else is getting in. There's none of that needy love. There's none of that attached love. Nobody else is getting involved in your life, and that's a kind of a love that's like, wow, when you could just detach and not to care whether, like, the creator really doesn't care, whether you look up and you praise him, say how great he is, or whether you just like spit up in the air on him. The creator and the higher beings, they don't care, The only reason that is sort of frowned upon, if you will, is the energy it brings to you. See, when you are praising, you are loving, this is a beautiful energy that uplifts you. When you're spitting on something and saying what a jerk it is, or, how much you hate it, this is a horrible energy that brings to your life, and it's going to attract back more horrible experiences, you see. But the beings up there really could care less, like, for your praises, or whatever you think of them. Like that's a powerful love, and still love you anyway, and still be there if and when you ever turn and you ask for help, they're still there. It doesn't happen how many times you curse the sky and curse God or curse Jesus or whatever you do. If you turn then to them in love and ask for help, you're gonna get it. And that is a powerful grace of the Creator and the higher beings, as I said, who live in their energies. So, where it comes from is the Creator, of course, first love is of self, right? Coming into being, like, didn't have to strive for it, just was in love with self, was in love with life, was in love with being able to create and make things and make other beings and have a good time. I mean, and then of course you're going to have that love of self for all your other, we might call us mini selves out there, of course. And that's where that astonishing grace comes, you see. And we bring it more and more into being as we begin to understand that we are at one with every other being around us. We are at one with them. We really are, even if we don't see it in the third dimension. But when we get to 5D, we are going to see that and get that and know that. So the more we can see it now in the others around us, those we like, those we don't like, but knowing you're at one with them really brings something new to the table. That kind of divine ability to love in that always there, always willing, but also detached. Now let's say neutrality, that place of neutrality, where you don't have to jump in there and try to fix things or get into arguments or all the things we do when we're not in neutrality. So I'll talk about neutrality on another video, but I got to go down and check out the food. So that's my message for today. I'm sending you that beautiful fifth dimensional energy, the love, the peace, the joy, the bliss, the fun, the play, the ease, and the divine grace, the grace of the divine in your heart for everyone else. You have arrived in 5D when you have the grace in your heart for everyone else. Okay, beloved ones, I'm sending it to you now. Here it comes. Namaste. I honor the God in you.